They have 3 lead singers. They're equal parts ABBA and Meshuggah, and they're my favorite band in the entire universe. Let's write an Amaranthe song. This video is sponsored by Toontrack for Metal Month 2021. Be sure to stick around for more songwriting videos like this one right here on Gear Gods all Metal Month long. I have an extremely critical and overly analytical brain. When I listen to music, I tend to pick it apart, you know what I mean? And the first time that I heard Amaranthe, that part of my brain just powered down. It just turned off. I was able to just enjoy music like I did when I was like 14, you know, and you just like stuff and you don't care why. And I have been a super fan of this band ever since. So I'm a little nervous to go in and dissect their songs because I don't want it to lose that magic, you know, but I'm pretty confident that it's gonna be all right. And honestly, I think this is gonna be really fun. So let's do it. The guitar that I'm using today is this super sick Balaguer Diablo, and it is tuned to drop C. The Amaranthe sound is basically pop songs played by a sick metal band. So I'm thinking of this like I'm writing a pop song and then just making it really heavy. So the first thing that we need is a bangin' chorus. Most of my favorite songs of theirs hover around 200 BPM, so I've chosen that as our tempo. And then for a key, I've picked up on a couple of things that they do. One of those is to go up a whole step for the chorus. And one of the ways that they make that happen is by having the verses down a whole step from where they start from. So all that to say that our chorus is going to be starting here. So I'm in drop C right now, which puts us in the key of D minor, the saddest of all keys. For a topic on this song, I've been sort of thinking about what Amaranthe is all about. It's the visceral nature of their lyrics. They literally have a song called Adrenaline and stuff like that. Living in the moment and just being excited to be alive, which got me thinking about what is it that gives us that? What causes that? Our brain is basically a drug dealer, okay? Serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, these are things that make us feel good, and we have to convince our brain to give them to us. We go to such ridiculous lengths, do crazy, crazy shit, so that our brain will be like, all right, here you go. Have a little happiness. And that kind of sucks, but that's also literally what life is about. So with that in mind, here's kind of what I came up with.
I want you to flood my brain and give me everything I ever wanted. Make me believe that I can be made whole again. Dull my pain, I need that chemical healer. My brain is a dealer and I can't get enough. The world burns so we're living for the rush.
So obviously that's the potato demo, but most of it is there. After the chorus, I want to have this synth melody thing. They do these a lot, and I really love that. So I'm gonna come up with a cool kind of EDM-y, dancey synth melody part and see where that goes. Now I'm gonna lay some chords underneath that on the guitar. This is my favorite patch from Easy Mix 2 for rhythm guitar. This is the Addictive preset from the Andy Sneap pack. Now for one of my favorite parts, we gotta add some drums. All right, so let's do some drums. You may have seen me do a video recently where I talk about using stock MIDI drum grooves. I use those a lot, and then I'll go back and tweak them a lot. One thing that I love to do, and will always do if the possibility exists, is to play in some of the drum parts, because even though I'm not a very good drummer, some stuff is just much easier to perform than to try and figure out what it is that you want. It also makes the process a bit more intuitive and fun because I love to play the drums. Toontrack just released the Duality 1 and 2 Easy X's. Today we're using Duality 2 to get our drum tones. It sounds thusly. So obviously that was not a peak display of drumming, but I just need to take little snippets of stuff that I do in here and turn it into the actual drums that it's gonna be. The little feats, the I'm gonna have to program all that stuff because sounds pretty good to me, but I think it needs some bass. So let's add some of that, shall we? All right, so we're gonna be using the What? Shut up, it's perfect continuity. Don't worry about it. We're gonna be using the brand new heavy metal EBX in easy bass. I mean, come on, just look at it. And now listen to it. I don't think it's gonna get any more metal than that. Amaranthe bass parts, luckily, are more functional than spicy, little bit of spicy, but mostly it's just about serving the song and giving it a little bit of flair. So let's start off with the intro bit here. As always, I'm programming it up an octave and then I bump it down an octave just to make sure that I've got the right pitches and everything. I love how silly it sounds an octave high, especially because then you drop it down to the proper octave, and then we get this. So that's just playing the roots. That's not very exciting. Let's jazz it up just a smidge. Bass slides are actually an incredibly effective transition tool. This is something that I teach in my songwriting course, which is coming out very soon. If you wanna get notified when that comes out, there's a link in the description where you can sign up. I wanna figure out how to do a bass slide in easy bass because we're kicking off this whole thing with a big fat guitar slide. I wanna double it up on the bass. So how are we gonna do that? Draw in a couple of notes, and then we're gonna select them. And then we're gonna slide between them, and that's it! And then in order to make it the right length, we kind of just scoot the notes closer together or farther apart. This is a really quick slide, so great. So then I grab our slide and boom! Oh yeah, oh that'll do. This is the point at which I like to add a little bass fill because we've got this sort of dead space at the end of the phrase. Like a dee-dee-dee-dee, that kind of a thing, which means we're gonna need another little sliderino. Oh yeah. All right, so here's our intro with bass and everything. So that sounds pretty awesome to me. I'm gonna go through and add bass to the rest of the track in the same way. So now we've got our chorus and our sort of post-chorus melody, which I'm feeling like will probably also serve as our intro. So now we need a verse. A typical Amaranthe verse consists of a lot of staccato types of sounds, almost Meshuggah-like staccato, palm-muted guitar, chunky things. Like I said in the beginning, in order to hit that modulation up a whole step for the chorus, we're gonna start our verse in C so that we can get to D minor for the chorus. So. I've noticed that they'll often start the verse with a much more chopped up version of the riff that has a lot of space in it before they hit the sort of final full-on version. So in order to achieve that, I'm gonna work backwards. I'm gonna write the full-on version of the riff with all of the notes filled in, and then I'm gonna remove stuff from it to add space. Olof still manages to come up with exciting, interesting rhythms of this same style by setting up an expectation and then playing with it to give you a little bit of a surprise. So that's kind of what I've done here. When you hear something, you expect to hear it again. We expect that things will repeat. And then when they don't, then we get this nice, pleasant little surprise. So basically I'm taking these two rhythms, it's, and then, and I'm just playing them in different orders and adding in little melodic bits like, and then, and that's pretty much it rhythmically. I can't sing like Nils. I can do 10 cents worth of Jake style, so that's what I'm gonna kind of lean into. And then we'll have the sort of Elise part for the second part of the verse. And then when it kicks in full blast to the full riff that I just showed, then it'll be Henrik.
Understimulated, jaded mind, so distracted I can't keep time. Every day is a race, then I'm running out on the chase and I'm looking for something.
I'll get better at it and record it for real. This is gonna be the sort of Elise part of the verse. Of course, I am not going to be singing this part on the final product, but I still have to write it to give it to the woman who is going to be singing it. Hence, you will be treated to my glorious falsetto.
Overcomplicated waste of time, nothing waiting at the finish line. Every day I become the horizon, never enough for you. Overcomplicated waste of time, nothing waiting at the finish line. Every day I become the horizon, never enough for you.
A lot of my very favorite parts in Amaranthe songs is when they drop in Henrik at just the perfect moment. And I think I've engineered a pretty good moment here to drop in the growly bits.
For you! Because I can't get through to the part of my brain that will satiate all of the needs that I have so I can elevate.
What is this? What am I doing with my hand? All right, now we need ourselves a pre-chorus. I got something in mind. Lyrically, I'm trying to keep the metaphor consistent. I'm using some water metaphors, right? Because of the flood my brain, rivers, tides, tsunamis, etc. Gonna be another Elise falsetto, so that's fun.
How much more can the shore of the river take? Feel the rise of the tide until you flood my brain,
etc. Yeah, feeling like the pre-chorus of this song is just begging for some twinkly piano parts, so I'm going to use my favorite patch in Easy Keys Studio Grand, which is called Wasteland. Doesn't it just sound like a frozen tundra? Some penguins, etc. I think it's gonna fit really good. A lot of times the bridge of an Amaranthe song is like a breakdown, like a heavy, groovy, halftime kind of a thing. A lot of cool syncopated, heavy things. So that lands us conveniently in the key of C, which is great because that's where I want to have the guitar solo, because I want it to still have that bump up a whole step into the final chorus. I'm gonna use the same chords as the chorus, but they're gonna be a whole step down, so it's gonna sound really familiar, but then all of a sudden it goes up a whole step and does the same thing again. It's gonna be so nice. I am now thoroughly stoked on how this is coming together, and now that I've got the guitars down and stuff on the chorus, I'm gonna sing the Elise bit once again in my glorious falsetto.
Flood my brain and give me everything I ever wanted. Make me believe that I can be made whole again. Dull my pain, I need that chemical healing. My brain is a dealer and I can't get enough. The world burns so we're spinning for the rush.
I said spinning for the rush. It's living for the rush, but we're just gonna leave it. That's great. It's just the anthem for spin class. You're gonna go in and ride on those bikes and have somebody yell at you who's in better shape than you. Nobody wants that. Very excited for a real singer to take this burden off of me. So I think this turned out super great. I am very excited to show you the final product right now. But first of all, huge thanks to Toontrack for sponsoring this video, and an enormous thanks to my special guest, without whom this would not be possible, Olof Mörck, playing lead guitar. I can't believe I got the guy from the band to be in this video. Amazing. Thank you so much. Angel Wolf Black for crushing the Elise part, and to the amazing Metal Mary Z for playing the part of Henrik on this. I literally could not have done it without them, so huge thanks to them. Thanks to you for watching this video, and now you're gonna get to enjoy the final product, our song, Rush.